terrorist state.
Russia is a terrorist state.
Russia is a terrorist state.
Russia is a terrorist state.
Stop Russia, stop the war.
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 Tribunal for Russian war criminals.
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 Let it be known also that one of the main reasons why we will speak about the Iranian cause, the cause of the people in Iran who want freedom, is because Russia unequivocally supports the terrorist Ayatollah regime. Russia was one of the first countries to give its condolences to Iran when its president died, in a very stupid way, by the way, flying an outdated Western helicopter. I mean, so much for the so-called evil West, I guess. The Iran might hate the West with a passion. The Iranian terrorist government, the Ayatollah government, might hate the West. But they are still using the Western equipment because they know that they can do no better. That, my friends, is something that shows that we, the free world, are in the right. This, my friends, is where the good quality of life is. This is where freedom is. This is where the future is. But in Russia, there's only death, poverty, extermination, and genocide. That's the only thing Russia has to bring to the table. Sometimes we hear songs and dances about this so-called beautiful Russian culture. My friends, we wish we could see that culture if it were not covered by a veil of propaganda. The Russian terrorist regime tries to weaponize its culture, tries to weaponize its language, tries to weaponize its very ethnicity. Every single country with a Russian minority is on the risk of invasion by the Russian terrorist regime. Every single one. And it is true that a lot of these Russians might not want it. But it is also true that Putin is not asking their opinion for anything. Putin does what he wants to do, and he will continue doing as such until he is dealt with, my friends. And the only way for us to deal with Putin, deal with this autocrat, deal with this terrorist Russian regime, is to help Ukraine win this war at long last. A war that could have been won long ago, if only Ukraine got the right equipment. Not too long ago, Zelensky has made an announcement that for the very first time in this war, Ukraine had enough shells to fight against the Russian terrorist regime. For the very first time. And this is after all of these big packages have been provided to Ukraine. So before this, Ukraine had to be perpetually on the back foot because there was simply not enough to fight back against the Russian terrorist regime, to defend Ukraine and defend the free world against barbarism, against enslavement, against terrorism. My friends, arms keep peace. What are good values worth if you are attacked by a terrorist regime, you are oppressed, you are destroyed, and you are genocided? What are good values worth in a situation like that? We need to be able to defend ourselves no matter what. Ukraine needs to be able to defend itself. And Ukraine will defend itself if we provide them everything they need. Fight the jets for Ukraine!
Fight the jets for Ukraine!
Fight the jets for